Hit that like and subscribe button if you're new to the channel and if you enjoyed the video. Today's June 1st, 2019. Saturday. You know what that means, right? It's fight day. That means it's fight day. That means Anthony Joshua will be defending his unified heavyweight belts against this man on the screen, Andy Ruiz. And this is going to be my final thoughts on the fight. I guess prediction, but it's going to be my final thoughts because there's nothing more that I could say because it's fight day now. This is going to be Anthony Joshua's United States debut, his American debut. He's going to be making his debut in Madison Square Garden. No better place. I mean, that could be the best place you could make your debut because, you know, New Yorkers are hardcore boxing fans. There's always matches. They always have boxing events in Madison Square Garden, in the Barclays Center. So this is a good place to make your debut, especially at the Garden where, you know, historical fights. You know, Muhammad Ali fought Joe Frazier in Madison Square Garden. I believe Joe Louis fought in Madison Square Garden back in the 1930s. So this is an historic place, where they've had historic boxing matches. So this is a good place for Anthony Joshua to make his debut. And it's good that he's fighting Andy Ruiz because Andy Ruiz is a Mexican heavyweight. So he will be bringing that Mexican fan base. Now, I think what we all really need to focus on is more Andy Ruiz and less Anthony Joshua, just because I know what Anthony Joshua is capable of doing as a fighter. But the question is, could Andy Ruiz take advantage of this opportunity? Could Andy Ruiz have success against Anthony Joshua? Now, I saw an interview of Anthony Joshua when he was talking about this fight and when he was talking about his opponent, Andy Ruiz, and he said that I felt that I fought fighters like Andy Ruiz. He said that he doesn't feel that Andy Ruiz has ever fought somebody like him, but he feels that he's fought guys like Andy Ruiz, and I agree with that. You know, obviously every fighter has a different style, but Joshua has been in there with several styles. He's been in there with the, you know, Vladimir Klitschko's, the, you know, European type of styles, the guys who throw the jabs. He's been in there with the aggressive pressure fighters. So he's been in there with the counter punchers as well. So I don't think it's going to be anything new for Anthony Joshua fighting someone like Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz, though, he's never fought anyone in the level of Anthony Joshua. The best guy he's fought was Joseph Parker, but Parker does not fight nothing like Anthony Joshua. B, Parker's not a puncher. And Andy Ruiz has never been knocked out, so I'm very curious to see how Andy Ruiz punch resistant is against Anthony Joshua, because that's what I'm very curious about. Once he gets hit flush by Anthony Joshua punch, does he back off? Because sometimes that happens. The guys tend to be aggressive. You know, he says, I've seen Andy Ruiz say, I'm going to be aggressive in this fight. I'm going to bring the fight to Anthony Joshua. I'm going to make this into a war, right? Obviously, Eddie Hearn has been building this up as, you know, this is, you know, Andy Ruiz is a Mexican type of fighter who fights Mexican style. And Andy Ruiz himself has said that he's going to bring the fight to Anthony Joshua. So if he sticks by that, that means he's going to be aggressive, right? Because if you bring the fight to Joshua, you're going to be aggressive. But you know how sometimes when a fighter does that and then he gets hit with a certain punch, all of a sudden he backs off. All of a sudden he goes on the back foot, and because he realizes, okay, I can't just go in there. So maybe that might happen. Maybe Andy Ruiz might not show respect to Joshua. Then he gets caught flush and he realizes, okay, if I keep doing this, I'm going to get knocked the fuck out. So that's what I'm curious. Is he actually going to stick by that? Is he actually going to be aggressive? Is he actually going to bring the fight to Joshua? I've always felt that Joshua does not do good backing up, and I feel that the only way that Andy Ruiz is going to have a chance against Anthony Joshua will be if Andy Ruiz gets on the inside, because he needs to. Anthony Joshua is 6'6", and he has like an 82-inch reach. Andy Ruiz is 6'2", but he really looked like he was around 5'11". I mean, he looked so short compared to Anthony Joshua. When they had that face-off, he looked so short. He did not look like a guy who was 6'2". He looked like he was really 5'11". So he's significantly shorter, and he has the weight. I think he has a 76-inch arm reach. So he's gonna have to get on the inside. If he stays on the outside, Anthony Joshua is gonna pick him apart with that jab, because Anthony Joshua throws a decent jab. And imagine you're 6 feet 5'11", and you have a 76-inch arm reach, and your opponent's 6'6", who has a decent jab, and he has an 82-inch reach. And imagine you stay on the outside. He'll just pick you apart with the jab. Andy Ruiz is not a boxer. He tends to do good coming forward, and letting his hands go. So if he did that and stayed on the outside, Anthony Joshua, that would just give Anthony Joshua all the advantage, because he'll just take him apart with the jab, and he'll just take him apart from the outside until he knocks him out. So I think he has to risk it, and he's probably intimidated by it, but he's gonna have to risk it. That's the only way he could. He's gonna have to risk it and go on the inside, because that's the only way he's gonna be able to beat Anthony Joshua. The problem with that is, because he looks so much smaller. I know he outweighed Anthony Joshua. I believe Joshua weighed 247 pounds, and Andy Ruiz weighed 268. So in terms of weight, he's heavier. He's 20 pounds heavier, but in my opinion, it just looks like Anthony Joshua is the more physically stronger guy. And I think that if Andy Ruiz went in the inside, that's what I'm curious to see. If Andy Ruiz actually takes the risk and goes on the inside against Joshua, who's going to be the stronger guy on the inside? And I just have a feeling and a hunch that it's going to be Anthony Joshua. I think you're going to see Anthony Joshua throwing uppercuts. And I think Anthony Joshua should throw uppercuts against Andy Ruiz, because Andy Ruiz is short. So when he comes in, he's going to be open for the uppercuts, because short guys who come in, that's the best thing you could do against a short guy who comes in, is throw an uppercut. I get I have a feeling, though, that this fight is going to go several rounds. I don't think it's going to be a one. And by the way, I am picking Anthony Joshua, but I don't think it's going to be an easy, one punch, 1 round knockout for Joshua. I think he's going to have to beat up Andy Ruiz, and I think he will beat up Andy Ruiz. I think Anthony Joshua should be aggressive in this fight. I think Anthony Joshua needs to show Andy Ruiz early on that he's in control, I don't think he should be. When he fought Alexander Povetkin, I felt he was way too passive in the first few rounds. Like, he wasn't being aggressive like he normally is. And it wasn't until the second half, like around round 5, 6, 7, when he finally started being more aggressive. And look what happened. He knocked out Povetkin, but in the first 3 to 4 rounds, he was being way too passive. So I think that I don't want to see him fight like that against, or that type of style against Andy Ruiz. I think he needs to immediately bring the pressure to Andy Ruiz and show Andy Ruiz who's boss. Show him that you can't bully. He's much bigger than Andy Ruiz, and he looks like he's physically stronger than him as well. So I think he should immediately put the pressure on Andy Ruiz and back up Andy Ruiz. Back him up and show him that, Oh, by the way, I think he should throw body shots, because Andy Ruiz has a lot of fat in his midsection. So I think he should really invest to the body to hurt that body and slow down Andy Ruiz. I think that he needs to basically bring the fight to Andy Ruiz and beat him up that way. Walk him down. Walk down Andy Ruiz. All right, beat him up, back him up, walk him down. And I think he will, by doing that, I think he will break down Andy Ruiz. I think he should fight Andy Ruiz the way he fought Dillian White, where he was coming forward against Dillian White. He was the aggressor. He was walking down Dillian White the whole fight. Dillian White was the one on the back foot. If you notice, Dillian White was trying to be the boxer in that fight. He wasn't his traditional, coming forward Dillian White. I think he should fight that exact way against Andy Ruiz. Obviously, be defensive minded. Don't just go in there with your head up. But because Andy Ruiz will be firing back. But I think he should show Andy Ruiz that he's bigger than him, and he's not going to let Andy Ruiz bully him. I think he should throw body shots. I think he should throw hooks. I think at the end of this fight, you're gonna see Andy Ruiz all blooded up. I think he's gonna have the same face that Dominic Brazil had. I'm telling you, I think he's going to be swollen up. And I think it's going to be a situation where he's going to catch him with a punch that Andy Ruiz does not see coming, probably an uppercut, and Andy Ruiz is going to fall down. But Andy Ruiz has heart, he's going to get up, and then he's going to drop him again. I think it's going to be one of those type of knockouts where he knocks him down with a devastating punch that he did not see coming, and then he goes and finishes him off. You know, and I have a big feeling it's going to be an uppercut. I just have a big feeling. Anthony Joshua has been saying that he's looking at Andy Ruiz as if he was fighting Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury or Luis Ortiz, as if he was fighting a champion. Okay, so he's taking Andy Ruiz dead serious. So I don't think he's gonna go in here and play around with Andy Ruiz. I think he's gonna bring the fight to Andy Ruiz. I hope Deontay Wilder's in the building. I hope he's there. But he's not, because he's already supposedly going to fight Tyson Fury next, and then Luis Ortiz. But I just hope this fight's exciting. No matter what happens, whether the fight goes the distance or whether somebody gets knocked out, I hope it's exciting. And I hope it's competitive. Even though I do definitely think Anthony Joshua's going to win, I hope Andy Ruiz comes to fight. I hope he comes to fight. I hope he didn't just come here to take a payday. That's all I'm saying. Like, I hope he did not just come here to take a payday because he's like, okay, I'm going to make $6 million. Let me just take this fight, because remember, this was a short notice fight. I hope he actually is going to try. You know, I don't want to see him in there be a human punching bag and not even try. Even if he gets knocked out, I hope he actually brings the fight and at least attempts to beat Anthony Joshua. Because that's way more better than seeing a guy just go there for a payday. So that's the only thing. Like, whatever happens in this fight, I hope Andy Ruiz comes to fight and at least try. But boy, if he were to pull off the upset, because this would be an upset if he beat Anthony Joshua, that would be insane for him. That would be great for Andy Ruiz Jr. It won't really be great for Anthony Joshua fans, because that would mean that Andy Ruiz is a PBC fighter, so that would mean that he would immediately fight Deontay Wilder, because they're both in the PBC, and then Deontay Wilder would probably beat Andy Ruiz and become undisputed champion without having to fight Anthony Joshua. And that's, by the way, what the Deontay Wilder fanboys want. They want Anthony Joshua to lose just so Deontay Wilder doesn't have to fight him. Because I'm telling you right now, if Andy Ruiz were to pull the upset and beat Anthony Joshua, because he's in the PBC, they would instantly make that fight him fight Deontay Wilder for unification. And then once Deontay Wilder beat him, because I would pick Wilder to beat him, he would be undisputed. And then he would have officially become undisputed Deontay Wilder without ever facing Anthony Joshua. And that is just some BS. So if you think about it, boxing really doesn't need Andy Ruiz to beat Anthony Joshua, because I would if Deontay Wilder becomes undisputed, I would rather see him become undisputed beating Anthony Joshua than fucking it happening like that where he beats the guy who beats Anthony Joshua, because that's some bullshit. Anyway, guys, so I have to say thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. And I'm out. Thanks for watching.